What's up, folks? Cheers to you. Darlene and Mel's and B in the house. Happy Monday. So just waiting on the list, you know. Am I blasting you guys out a little bit, maybe? Check. Might be a little hot. Waiting to see who gets the axe. Who is the scapegoat? My guess is that it's going to be Pam Bondi this time around. I forgot who was the Signal Gate goat. All right, just had to adjust my levels there for a minute. All right, so I'll be playing catch up because I didn't check out any news at all today. So I don't know if there's been any if there was a White House presser today or not. I don't know how often she really does them. But, yeah, Mel says, let's hear from Ghislaine Maxwell. I agree. 100%. Whoops. All right, hold on. Still trying to get my shit in order. Yeah, Mel says we've known for years that the turnip turd is at the top of the child rapist list. For sure, for sure. And the sad thing is, Mel's, that it's not going to change any of the Trumpers' minds. None of the, they're all in. They fucking sold their souls and are resting all their hopes on Trump being the delivering them from evil or whatever it is. Yeah, Mel says Kirk bowed down, but not Benny Jones. So I'm going to try to do some quick headline scrolling. So apparently the ICE facilities are over capacity. I'm still just completely fucking disgusted by the presser 3 days after those Texas floods, and it was a big fucking schmoozing ass kissing contest or whatever session with Abbott and his team and Trump and his team, led by the fucking brazen chronic liar Kristi Noem. So, to sit there and pat themselves on the back when like 120 some people lost their lives, a bunch of folks still missing, all the, how? It's like, how do they just kind of gloss over the fact that there was little girls that died alone in the night? Mac, what's up, brother? Cheers to you. Yeah, we have to, I don't know if that's what it was. Like 2016, people got fucking complacent or didn't take it seriously, and we ended up with Trump, and then folks got their shit together and Biden had a good turnout. And then I guess there was a lot of ignorant, misinformed folks that thought neither party was going to do worth a shit for them. And so they either didn't vote or they thought for some reason they believed all of Trump's bullshit about cheaper prices and things being grandiose. So let's hope that doesn't. We need to it needs to happen in 2026 so we can stop the bleeding. Whether we're able to impeach Trump again and remove him or not, I don't think impeachment should be an option, even a thought, unless we have the votes in both houses. And by having the votes, I don't mean hoping that, we can get one or two Republicans to flip. I don't think it's not a it's not a 2/3 vote to remove, is it? In the Senate? I don't think so. 50-50. Or simple majority. So whether we make that happen, the impeachment possibilities happen or not, be nice to have the Senate so we can stop the bleeding. I mean, so we can, you know, keep fucking the insane Congress in check. Or House of Reps. Darlene asks if I think Kamala Harris will run again. Kamala, I don't think she will. I mean, yeah, I've thought about that too a few times, Darlene. Like, what would I do? I guess it would depend on who else is in the primaries. Like, I still think she's an incredible candidate. She has the experience that nobody else that'll be in the race on the Democrat side has. So, yeah, I don't know if she'll. Yeah, Mel says Kamala's going to run for California governor. I have heard that too. I mean, again, for me, it would just depend. Right now, Harris is still. I still see her as a good candidate. Is she going to be the one? I don't know if we can even make those kinds of judgments anymore. Will this person win? You know, and you got to think that we don't know what unless shit really goes sideways. Nobody will be running against Trump again. So that's going to make a difference. For fuck's sake, I hope she would be able to beat Vance, but I've already said I don't think the GOP is going to end up with Vance as their main candidate. Seriously. There's going to be primaries. I mean, that's all they fucking bitched about was how Harris didn't have to go through any primary to be selected or whatever to be elected. So I assume that they're just, I mean, maybe they won't. They don't give a fuck about being hypocrites or anything like that. But I don't see too many people on the Republican side wanting Vance as the candidate in 2028. I don't give a fuck what happens in the next 3 years, which 3 years is a long time, right? But I don't think it makes any difference. Yeah, I like Andy too. I like fucking McGovern, you know, Big Gretch, of course, Buttigieg. Um, I still think Harris is an awesome candidate, but like Mel says, it's a good chance she will be running for governor of California. Yeah, Mel says Vance won't win anything in her opinion. I don't think so either, sister. I think that he's just, but we don't know, man. The way things are going, and it's like it could be a whole new revolution in the Republican Party that the tech bros are able to take the reins of. It's a good, I mean, there really is a good possibility. Like, it's all they have to do is feed the MAGA base some bullshit to get them to fucking, back their fascist plans. And I don't think it'll be that difficult. I mean, you know how it is. The Trumpers are willing to buy into anything. Yeah, Mel says the country's too homophobic for Pete to win, and I think that may be the case too. I don't know. It's very hard, right, Mel's, when folks like us, like, we're not influenced by someone's sexuality or sexual preference or what they do in their but obviously there are a lot of folks that are. So, but it's hard to put a read on that from my perspective. Like, I don't know. It's hard to imagine what the fuck people's personal issues are in 2025 that they I don't really want to get into it. Otherwise I'll go off forever about the fucking people who are afraid of someone that's never going to fucking hit on them, never wants nothing to do with them, you know? It's like, for fuck's sake, nobody wants to fuck you fucking MAGA men. Do you think, why would make any difference if someone was gay or not? Yeah, exactly. Very small-minded people. Just it's fear, Darlene, is what it is. It's being ignorant or lack of knowledge. It leads to fear, or be unknown, not knowing. So it leads to fear, and fear leads to animosity, and then can lead to violence. And that's MAGA folks in a nutshell. They have their heads buried and look, nobody on the left that I know of is like criticizes someone for just kind of living in their own little bubble physically, right? Like, I moved out here years ago because I wanted to be the fuck away from people for a change. So it's not that, it's not wanting to have some sort of solitude or a certain amount of privacy in your life. It's not wanting to see black folks when you go to the grocery store, or not wanting to see someone with blue hair, whether they're gay or not, because believe it or not, a lot of straight folks color their hair, just saying. But yeah, but the problem is too, and then where does it cut? I suppose MAGA men would probably never be like, well, I don't want to see women out in the streets anymore either. But they got to have somebody do their shopping for them. Yeah, Dave Oz is a keeper. If I was gay, I'd be all over that man. Max says all those mega youth pastors getting arrested for pedo crimes. Yep. Sorry, just doing a quick poke of headlines again, or still. Andrew Cuomo announces third-party run for New York City mayor, setting up rematch against Zoran Mamdani. Well, isn't that just special? Why doesn't he should have just fucking switched parties. How long before Andrew Cuomo he looks bad. He looks bad. Let's see if I can. I don't know. He's looking bad. He's probably about 25 years older than me. I have no idea. He's quite a bit older than me, and he doesn't look that much older than me, so maybe I shouldn't talk, but he doesn't look good. And for fuck's sake, just go away, dude. Do you have no fucking shame? Do you have no goddamn shame at all? It's pretty gross, quite honestly. Come on. You get one person, maybe, if you're in a position of power, that might want to take advantage of the situation and make false allegations about you groping them. But a handful, half a dozen women, come on, dude, just fucking go away. You're not going to win. And now, instead of just leaving with some sort of humility and, letting time do its thing, whatever, you want to fucking just keep putting yourself out there and reminded folks exactly what kind of fella you are. Pretty gross. Go away. Markets are preparing for an international game of tariff bluff, but President Trump may no longer All right. See, I don't know why it's not allowing me to. Very strange. All right, anyway. Markets are preparing for an international game of tariff bluff, but President Trump may no longer need to back down. Why? With Trump's August 1st tariff deadline looming, analysts including Deutsche Bank's Jim Reed and Goldman Sachs' Sven-Jari Sten suggest that the sharp escalation and more likely a negotiation tactic than a firm policy shift, while EU leaders are delaying countermeasures in hopes diplomacy prevails. UBS warns that if the tariffs are actually imposed, it could significantly raise the risk of U.S. recession. What do you mean, significantly raise the risk? We will. Had it out with the fucking couple Trumpers last night. It's like they're bitch. You guys said fucking grocery store shelves would be empty. It's like, well, yeah, if he would, because it was all based on the economists, calculating these fucking tariffs and just doing the best they could because we wouldn't know exactly how hard it would hit. But the tariffs never got signed. No tariffs ever got signed. And look, there was still damage done. Grocery prices have still gone up 2.8% so far this year. Well, it depends, 2.3% to 2.8%, but it doesn't matter. Either number sucks. It's July. Mel says her youth pastor was 22 and Mel says touching me. I wasn't trying to avoid that word. I was trying to find a better way of saying that, he was however aggressive, sister, he was molesting you kids when you were kids. It's just yeah, I tell you what, Miles, I have, thankfully, I've experienced some weird people in churches, and there's weird people everywhere, but for sure, like, I feel like some of the more calculating predators are like, this is where I can go to be trusted and get away with things, right? Like, because you're a church goer, you're a church member. Now you're going to be part of the church staff in whatever capacity. So you're a trusted person, and it's fucking scary. It's scary that people leave their kids or don't have a strong enough relationship with their kids when they're really little. Like, and I get it. Like, we don't know what prevents a 3 or 4 year old necessarily, or 5 year old. And I know Mel says she was in her teens, but still, you know, unfortunately, it happens to kids that don't know how to respond, or, you know, let someone know, you know, without feeling some sort of guilt. And it's just, the whole thing is pretty infuriating. Chronic Case, what's up with you? Welcome to the chat. Gloria's in the house. Cheers. Gloria says, I watched Midas Touch this morning, and it made my day seeing Trump getting shoved to the back of the FIFA players on stage. I didn't notice that. They couldn't get him off there for the team pick, so they pushed him back. Oh, to do a second photo op. That's hilarious. Yeah, I watched, like, I YouTube searched the Trump being booed, but it was like I couldn't. It was like during a fucking, like, trophy handing out ceremony or some bullshit. I don't know. It sounded like when he went up on stage that he did get booed, but Bill says that the club champs Chelsea photoshopped Donald out of the celebration photo. Yeah, he's a goddamn ham, right? He's a fucking camera hog or whatever the fuck, however you want to say that. A ham, is that right? Did I get it right? Attention whore? A whore? Just, he's an attention whore and a regular whore? A fucking whore? So I'm still looking around, but I'm going to keep asking you guys, because I hope I feel guilty that, you know, not like you're doing my work for me, but, you know, I can't know everything. And part of the reason why you guys know I've always done this is because so many of you are so well informed. And so I lean on you. I admit that. So any word at all from the White House on the Epstein files today? I'm just wondering if Bondi made any press releases, or if there was the Karen Lai Levitt, press secretary, spewed any bullshit today. Did Trump have a presser? Hey Bear, what's up with you, sister? Cheers to you. Mel says gas is over $4. Yeah, I seen it was. I think I looked up San Diego yesterday or the other day, and it was $4.57 because tide's down there. I don't know. Is it a little cheaper for you, Mel's, than in like L.A.? I mean, $4. Anything over $4 ain't cheap, right? But I forgot to ask what Mrs. V paid for eggs. And again, today, $3.08. We're using flex fuel now, which is awesome. So it was $2.29 a gallon, but regular gas, because we just switched over to this new truck, regular gas is still $3.09 a gallon, which is 35 cents higher than it was when Trump took office. So supposedly the average price of gas is going down, but I don't know what that means across the nation. Like, I don't imagine I really don't. I have a hard time believing it's any cheaper at all, to be honest with you. Because you guys know me. I mean, I get into this conversation with these fucking chuds, and it's like, why would I have any? Is all you have to do is go fucking look up West Michigan gas prices in January or whatever fucking date you want, and you can see that I'm not bullshitting you. It's still over $3 a gallon here. and it was under that on January 20th. So A Bear says, some sad news from my hood. Haven't wanted to talk about until now. That assisted living fire in Massachusetts, most of you read about, is about 4 blocks from my house. Oh no. I didn't know, A Bear, that it, yeah. I don't recall the details of that. It does ring a bell, but you know how it is. We see so much of that stuff. Sadly. Max says their incompetence is costing people's lives, their lives. Bill says, let me know how that works out for you, TV. I've heard bad things about the flex fuel. We were told not to use it in our work trucks. Yeah, I will, Bill, for sure. I've heard just lower performance. That's the only thing, and it's not like I've dove in deep and anytime recently, but this was in the past, right? When the E85 started coming out and all that. Yeah, we've been burning it for probably a month now, Bill, because we were just because it's flex fuel or whatever the truck is, so we can Ford F-150, so you can use either or in it, right? And as you probably know, Bill, there are higher grades of ethanol, so I mean maybe we'll move up to a higher grade, but literally it's $1 cheaper a gallon, unless it fucking totally fucks your engine up, which I can't see that happening. But that makes sense, Bill, honestly, with work trucks, because the one thing that for sure that I heard is that you just might not get the performance with with ethanol that you do with regular gas. So maybe we'll do like a gas treatment every so often, but it's gonna be cleaner, so I don't see it like carbon up or causing the engine any problems as far as that goes. It's just less performance, I guess, right? Because it doesn't burn as hot or as fast. CC says Canadian gas prices are $1.25 a liter here in Ontario. Conversion 3.7 liter to a single gallon. Shit's crazy. Yeah. So that's like whatever, right? Over $5 a gallon. Darlene asks if gas treatments really work. I don't know. I honestly do not know. I am not a gearhead at all. Like, I am not bad at fixing shit. I'm not a mechanic, but I grew up around them. Like, 3 uncles that were building monster trucks, Mustangs. My dad was always working on his clunkers. So, but I just don't pay attention enough to that kind of shit, and we don't do that kind of stuff very often. So, I mean, I've never really used gas treatments that I can think of. If I have, it's been, well, maybe like in the winter when we've had some issues with water or something, but. Wes says it destroyed his Mercury boat motor. What did? E85 or gas treatments? Well, boat motors are fucking sketchy anyway, Wes, as you know. That shit is a bitch to keep healthy and running. Bill says, I've heard it's bad for the valves and can cause vapor lock when prevents proper fuel distribution to cylinders. Yeah, I have not heard that, but I've gotten on it too, guys. Like I've fucking I've gotten on it. Like I was out tonight and got gas, and I was on it, and I don't know, but you know I drive a Ford, so they are good trucks. Sorry, I was raised in a Ford family. I'm all fucking proud of that shit. Ford tough, baby. Oh, Wes, I didn't even know you could. Wes, I didn't know that they made boat motors that ran on ethanol, honestly. Was it something that was newer? A 1980 Mercury mix, gas and oil, too. Why would you put ethanol in that then? There's no fucking way it was made for that, brother. It was a mistake, I take it. Yeah, you can't just run ethanol and replace it and, you know, to replace regular gas. Your motor has to be designed for it. Yeah, that's a drag. Yeah, all like boat motors and that shit, when they run anything like that, it's fucking worth money. No matter how bad it runs. If it's still a good boat motor, them fuckers are expensive, as you know. My grandpa did a lot of work for all three major motor companies because he was in metal finishing. But he was always a Ford guy, and so we all grew up as, you know, loving Fords. And me and Mrs. V, we've owned that Pontiac transport van. That was one of the best vehicles we ever bought, and it was one of those new concepts, right? This had the automatic sliding side door and shit, or opening and closing side door. That thing was cool as hell. The ones that kind of looked like a bullet train. That was one of our best buys. And then we had another Pontiac minivan. I forgot what that was called. And we owned I've had a GMC Sierra too, the 1500. So, and that was I don't know. It did not take the beating that our last F-150 did. James, what up, brother? So James was leaving from work earlier. He gets to work and gets right back in the chat. Wes says 2 carburetors. Oh, Wes says the gas station just pumped gas. I don't know. Well, I'd be fucking, if you had a way to prove that them motherfuckers pumped fucking ethanol into your boat motor, I'd be fucking bringing it up with some management over there. Gloria says her parents always bought Pontiacs. My mom owned a Chrysler Duster when I was a youngster. She had a 73 Duster, and I guess they were pretty badass. It was an ugly car to me, but I guess it was pretty badass, like next to the Mustang and everything. Like it had a pretty good-sized motor in it. She owned a Monte Carlo, which the motor blew up in. She should just let that thing sit in the barn until whenever, because those things are fucking, you don't see a ton of those, not around here anymore. It was like a 78 Monte Carlo. Yeah, so like my parents were all over the place with vehicles, but my grandparents were huge Ford fans, and all my mom's brothers and sisters drive for, were big into Fords. Like I said, all my mom's younger brothers and brothers were building Ford monster trucks, and I probably have some pictures buried away. And so I just kind of fucking went with that, even though as a kid I owned a bunch of different piles of shit too. Like I had a Pontiac, God, what is it? Torino or something, a Grand Torino or something like that. God, why am I thinking that wasn't it? It was, I don't know, these things were fucking 4,000-pound cars back in the fucking 80s, right? Yeah, my kid owned a Buick before he bought his pickup. Well, he bought a Ford Escape and had that for a few years before he fucking wrecked it. But that Buick, the frame rotted out on it, but the motor was smooth, man. And it was totally fucking decked out inside. It's just, I'm not into sedans. I can't handle it. I'm not a gearhead, so I'm not like really into sports cars, even though I would not turn down the chance to be able to afford and have like a fucking 71 fastback or something, you know? Well, it didn't take my buddy long, Wes, when we were teenagers to and he became a mechanic. He was big into Toyotas. James says I'm selling Epstein files as from tomorrow for $499. Epstein sneakers, Epstein crypto, Epstein Hannibal Lecter onesies, Epstein ketchup bottles. Going to be a billionaire, brother. James, let me in on that. Let me fucking invest, brother, before you go public. Before you go public on the market. That's a fucking genius idea. Might as well. I mean, why should Trump be the only one stripping all the fucking maggots from their money? We should get in on that. Yeah, it was something like that, Gloria. That's kind of the old body style. It was just kind of rounded, big ass fucking front end, or kind of a more sleek, rounded ass end. Then you're buying the Niners. Yeah, mine wasn't much of a show car. There's no doubt about that. Mine was a slow car. I think every car company had their lemons, right, and their diamonds, I guess. Should I scroll a few more? Should we scroll a few more? Headlines a minute before I take a break. EU tariffs set to raise pasta and wine prices, threatening jobs on both sides of the Atlantic. Macron. The 30% tariffs on Europe's Union imports announced by President Trump on Saturday could be a death blow to the European food industry and lead to price hikes for American consumers. Oh my God. Where are the Trumpers? Are you fucking fake ass bitches that you can't come in here and explain to me how you still don't understand that when Trump puts a fucking tariff on a company out of our country to import their product in here, and they want to sell that fucking product for $10, and Trump says, I'm putting a 50% tariff on it, which means he's gonna take fucking $5 of that $10. Do you think they're just gonna take that loss, or are they gonna mark that up to $15? Are you that fucking stupid? If you're selling, if you got to have $10 for something, and then all of a sudden some cocksucker like Trump, who's rich and doesn't understand a fucking thing about what the real world is like, if you got to have $10 and that cocksucker says, I'm adding 50% tariff tax to it, because remember, if you went to an American school at any time in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, it was called an import tax. That's what we referred to tariffs as. For the most part, certainly how we were taught what they were. An import tax. Over and over, when a teacher was explaining what a tariff is, they would say, this is like an import tax, a tax that is put on products imported into the country. You're not going to, if you got to have $10 for your product, and this fucking douchebag Trump says you got to pay 50% of that price to the government, are you just going to take that hit? No, you're going to fucking raise the price of your product to cover it, right? So what does that mean? That means you're still able to get the profit margin you wanted. The douchebag Trump is able to get the 50% import tax for the government. This isn't doing nothing to help the people. That's another aspect of this that you fucking morons don't want to fucking even consider, because, well, you'd probably lose your goddamn mind, right? If you really understood how this shit worked, you'd be like, oh my God, it's all too much. And there'd be fucking tears and rolling around on the fucking floor. What the fuck is the matter with you people? How have you fucking made it this far in life? How have you raised families and maintained your homes? It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. You're paying the extra amount. So now that product isn't costing $10 for you. You have to pay $15. And you don't, there's no fucking extra gain, or doesn't make the product any more special. You don't get a fucking warranty with it for that extra $5. 33% now more you're paying for that fucking product, right? And that money is going to Trump's administration, and he gets to decide how it's going to be spent, not you. He isn't fucking putting it back into your community to somehow compensate you for the fucking 33% increase on a $10 product that he just caused you to pay. Right? Yeah, am I right? James says, TV was reading up on that exact thing you were talking about recently. The only reason you haven't seen the price hikes yet on the imported goods from tariffs is because many companies are still using products they have stocked before with no tariffs, and it's coming, brother. Stay tuned. Yeah, for sure. Like, and plus, like, just heavy. It's all I believe there has been like a 10% tariff that has been signed or something against Vietnam, which is whatever, right? But yeah, they're, too, James, like you said, to your point, the tariffs that Trump keeps fucking blabbering about really haven't even been enacted yet. So we are yet to see the full fucking effect of these tariffs should he follow through with it. There's been, we've already seen how his rhetoric has caused prices to increase in some ways, right? Not across the board. I'm not here to sit here and fucking exaggerate and be a drama queen, but the second he started talking tariffs, we seen people and not just price gouging, but certainly price gouging, and just fear, which starts driving up prices, because all of a sudden now you have people are holding, your consumer confidence goes down, right? Yes, yeah, right on. James says, too soon yet to see how tariffs will affect the consumer. However, it's coming for sure, brother. 100%. Dave. Dave. Do 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 do. Dave. Do 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 do. Dave. Dave's practices Kimberly Galafoil. Use it or lose it. Yeah. Arr. Was she a screamer, Dave? I don't know if you want to answer that or how you want to answer that. Dave says, stop singing, you bastard. Dave says, I wasn't singing, you bastard, but that's a good idea. You bastard, do 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 do. You bastard, do 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 do. Now I can stop singing, you bastard. Stop singing, you bastard. That might be a cool band name, Dave. It's a little bit long, but stop singing, bastard. Or singing, you bastard. Singing bastards. The singing bastards. Growing up on little. Dave says, Darlene, please tell him to stop. Dave? Do 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 do. Dave. I got lost in my thoughts, so I was just like, yeah, I'm going to sing some more. You can't handle doo-doos? Well, usually I'm playing it on the guitar, so it's just like, Dave. Dave. See what I'm saying? Do you feel me? Wes says 3 inches of rain passed. Yeah, B was fucking bragging about all the rain she got earlier, too. Pisses me off. Could use some up here, you guys. I mean, yeah, Michigan's a peninsula, too, like Florida, but all the sand dunes, man. Can't get any water. Can't get a motherfucking drop of water out here off the lake. Do run, 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 do run, run. Yeah. Max says you can tune doo-doos to drop D. That wouldn't be any fun. Drop D is just so not E, not standard tuning. Dave, have you ever used drop D and tuned a half a step down? Because like a half a step down is D sharp. And that's where we used to tune, just not drop D. We would just tune a half a step down to make vocals easier, even though I honestly don't know how much easier it made it. Seriously, like, you know, for years, the whole time I was in the band, we always played tuned a half a step down. But then when I started doing my shit up here in the studio again, however many years ago, I'm just tuning to straight 440 because I was trying to play along with all kinds of other tracks, and most music is tuned in 440. Whatever, Dave. I don't need any women. I got my standard guitar. Mrs. V loves that I play standard tuning. I was going to be all fucking a little bit overboard and say it makes her nips hard, but I probably shouldn't say that. All right, you guys, I have to do a BRB and make another cocktail. Make yourselves at home. I appreciate you hanging out. I wish I could be here on cam with you guys yapping a little bit more often. I probably could be. But I know a lot of you folks have been popping by the 24/7 countdown clock stream, which we have 476 days, 4 hours, and 17 seconds until the midterm elections there on November 3rd, 2026. So if you haven't, hit the thumbs up, share with those you love, those you don't, subscribe, ring the all bell, drop a comment in the chat, or if you're watching this after it posts, drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think, even if it's like, Jesus Christ, TV, you got to shut the fuck up, dude. You got to stop streaming. I probably won't, but just give me a holler. I'd like to hear from you folks. All right, be good. I will, I'll see you in a couple minutes or whatever when I make it back up here. All right. I'm back. All right. So it looks like they've still been having still flooding going on in that same area of Texas, it sounds like, which isn't going to make recovery operations any easier. Yeah, B says it seems we get involved in shit we shouldn't and don't get involved in stuff we should. Yeah. Yeah, that was exactly. I didn't even see James' link, but immediately reading B's comments here, that's my thought that it's disgusting. Israeli airstrikes kills at least 10, including 6 children at Gaza water station, say health officials. Honestly, James, that's nothing. It was 53 people or 57 folks on Friday or on Friday maybe, and then another 30 some on Saturday, and then I guess these 10 folks today, and all of them, yeah, at the trying to get to the Rafah distribution centers or were there. Either trying to get there, were there, or trying to get there. All these, so about 100 people over the weekend. Death toll now totaling close to 60,000 people. I don't know, more than 40%. It doesn't say here, but from I've been checking numbers from time to time, and it's probably a good 40% are children. Let's see if I can expand this a little bit. I cannot read that. I apologize. An Israeli airstrike killed at least 10 people, including 6 children who were waiting to collect water in Gaza, Palestinian health officials have said. A separate airstrike on Sunday hit a home, killing 9 people, and 31 others were shot dead near, on Saturday. And 31 folks were shot dead near an aid distribution site on Saturday, marking another bloody weekend of the conflict's death toll exceed 58,000. Witnesses said a drone fired a missile at a crowd holding empty jerry cans beside a water tanker in the Nuseirat refugee camp in central Gaza. About 20 children and 14 adults were lined up. Jesus fucking Christ. When the strike occurred. This is the shit I'm pissed about, you guys. Can I just get an amen or a yes, Troy? We hear you. Democrats are voting for those military aid packages to Israel. I just don't want to ever let anybody forget that Democrats are just the people that you and I voted for are voting to continue to send Israel weapons of death so they can genocide Gaza. That's on us, 100%. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but it is what it is. Sorry, I got a bunch of shit looping now, don't I? There we go. It's fucking crazy. It really kills me. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing here, you guys? You know, we're American. Yeah, we have a really fucking full plate right now with Trump and his bullshit. We can be writing our reps and senators about the bullshit Trump is doing, and we can be writing them and telling them you have to stop. I'm dead sick of fucking voting for, you know, supporting these folks and voting for them that are going to continue to fund this shit. It's on both sides of the aisle. Both houses of our Congress have just blindly supported Israel for decades, far longer than I've been alive. And it's got to stop, you guys. It's disgusting. I mean, every one of us here are completely fucking just pissed off, disgusted, horrified by what the Israel leadership is doing. We are encouraging that. B says 100% both sides. B, there's been no other country that we have shown such blind, ignorant support for like we have for Israel. And it's unexplainable unless you just consider that we have a huge amount of, you know, Jewish folks in our Congress, you know. And it's not just that. I mean, for fuck's sake, I don't know if you guys know, but I think probably most people know that, you know, whatever the actual fucking, you know, foundation or group name is or whatever, but Israel has like the largest fucking lobby group in Congress of anybody, like over all our fucking huge corporations, our banks, right? There's nobody spends more money lobbying Congress than Israel. Yeah, Gloria, you know, that's the kind of shit that pisses me off, and it's just, I don't know what to say, Gloria. But Gloria says, plus when the Israeli soldiers shot first responders in their ambulances last month, that's the kind of shit our leaders on both sides just of the aisle just kind of look past, you know? I don't know. I don't think we can be too hard on them about that shit. I mean, do a press release. Tell me why you think it's a fucking good idea to keep sending Israel weapons of fucking death. You know, instruments of death, so they can genocide Palestinian folks. Tell me why that's necessary to help keep our country stable, secure, whatever. We're not defending an ally. We're encouraging genocide. Darlene says 2.4% of the total U.S. Oh, yeah, it's not like a huge number. Identifies as Jewish. According to the Pew Research Center, this translates to roughly 7.5 million people out of the total U.S. population of over 330 million. Yep. Lot of influence. It's kind of an ass, and some of them are members of that 1%er group. it shouldn't be tough. And for anybody with any common sense or stability, it doesn't have to be said that everything that happened during World War II to the Jewish folks, and just not just Jews but Jewish folks, nobody condones that shit. But why we allow ourselves to be so heavily influenced is really scary. Like, it's, Jews were clearly just victimized, right, in horrific ways during World War II. And I don't have to explain that to you guys, but they continue to play a victim as they just instigate, and maybe out of fear. Maybe they think that they cannot survive. And, well, when you act like assholes, you have a less chance of people liking you and surviving and folks wanting to allow you to live in peace as their neighbor. When you act like the way Bibi does, there's no hope, right? I mean, all the maggots and Trump thought it was great fucking bombing Israel or Iran, but how would these maggots feel if, Iran missiles were only a few minutes away? We don't have to worry about that. Yeah, of course he didn't. Darlene says no, Trump didn't impose tariffs on goods from Israel, while he did implement tariffs on goods from China and other countries and engaged in trade disputes with Canada and Mexico. Right. He doesn't. It's, well, for one, his grandkids are Jewish, So, like, Ivanka and Jared's kids are probably growing up Jewish or in the Jewish faith. Hey, whatever. Don't, America has never been a part or never used, I think we've been able to pretty cleanly avoid or honestly say we just don't engage in religious wars, though obviously we might back folks that that's their mission. Thoroughly disgusting. I'm pretty sure we give Israel more money than any other sovereign nation in the world. Democrats put aside previous misgivings to hit Trump over Jeffrey Epstein files. Democrats are echoing criticism from the right of how President Donald Trump and his administration had handled case files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, a change from Trump's first term when Democrats swiftly condemned Trump's unfounded conspiracy theories about the investigation into the financier and his death. The party has spent days poking the bear after an administration memo knocked down conspiracy theories. And by the way, that memo was never signed. So it's just these guys are very calculating. You know what I mean? So that memo was never signed. They just decided to change their mind about whether she had the list or she was referring to files. So oh yeah, right on. Darlene says that it shouldn't matter. He's president and should come down on Israel. Yeah, his grandchildren aren't Israelis. His grandchildren are just Jewish. I assume. I'm sure they're being raised that way. I don't know if Jared has like dual citizenship in Israel or not. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But no, Trump is, I mean, and it's disgusting because we don't, it's just, there's all kinds of nepotism all over the fucking place, right? With on both sides of the aisle. And so there's always favors being played to certain people for certain reasons that are usually personally related. B says, give them money for what? I'm not sure what you're asking, sister. I know I get yapping, and when I catch up on comments, I have no idea where the conversation is. Well, I don't really know what drives Trump. And I mean, I don't think he's just like completely psychomaniac, needs to be in a rubber room. Close, but like he's able to maintain, like he has goals. Like he's not someone who just randomly goes out mass murdering and they don't even know why, right? Like he knows that his actions are leaving people dead and he don't give a shit. But like I felt like he was probably not in great, or could have been in really bad financial shape had he not won the election, and that changed everything. It changed everything for his fucking crypto scam coins and his social media stock, and of course now all the fucking conflict of interest, backroom deals he's able to make. It's like we've just told, and I have a little bit of worry about the next Democrat administration, right? Like, are they going to fucking have a blind trust? Is anybody going to fucking worry about even trying to be semi-fucking upstanding about it? It's hard to fucking, look, you guys, it's not easy. It's not going to be, I don't even want any part of sitting here trying to fucking be a better country no matter how small the steps are, because I know we have a long ways to go, right? But it doesn't, I have no desire to sit here and just do nothing but always bash the right when we can't be allowing this shit on the left, right? Correct? And James says, TV and as for the UN, why aren't they being used as peacekeepers in Gaza at aid distribution sites? Because Israel probably won't allow them in. Is Israel part of the UN, James? I don't even know. I don't think they are. There's something screwy. God, what is it? It's like there's two, isn't there I can't be sure of that, James. I feel like Israel has opted out of some of these major, agreements that that countries have made. The UN's worthless. It's a great idea. I don't know. I don't think it should just be disbanded or whatever. I don't know how we make it work. I don't know how the world makes it work. I think the UN could be, I mean, it was formed because it has potential to do the right things, like James says, to provide. It doesn't seem to have any carry. Its decisions overall, rulings don't seem to carry a bit of fucking weight. And I don't know how we resolve that. Yeah, exact. So, right. Jay says that the U.S. will veto anything Bibi asked Trump to veto. U.S.'s Security Council. Boots on the ground requires Security Council approval. Well, and it's sick. As I brought up, like, probably the last stream, you guys know that, like, the supposed security for these distribution centers are being. Security forces are private American companies, right? It's being managed by the IDF, but. Or actually some. It's a fucking Israeli military ran department, but it's called something else for this specific, humanitarian whatever, but it's all being overseen by the IDF, and you have private American security contractors, and they're getting filthy rich as they just stand by. And I don't think the private American security companies are shooting these people. God, I hope not. Hope we don't fucking hear that. But there's still a bunch of disgusting rats. Like, if there's anybody that's ever worked for, like, BlackRock or whatever, or a private security company that's over in one of these war zones getting rich and just standing by watching war crimes happen from Americans or people we're supporting, like Israel, you're disgusting. You're a coward. Maybe you should just pull your wad of money out of your pocket and count it and ignore me as I tell you what a coward you are. You're a fucking coward. If you're going over there to leaving your wife and kids at home in America and going over there and putting yourself in danger to get rich, why don't you fucking earn that money? Were you hired to fucking help protect the Israeli Defense Force? Or were you hired to protect these distribution centers from bandits? Or were you hired to be to be an increased show of force for Israel and Bibi, and just sit back and watch fucking children and women who want something to want a glass of water? You're okay? You're an American? And you're sitting there watching fucking kids get fucking taken down by bullets who are thirsty? You're a fucking coward. You're a coward. You could kick my ass maybe up and down the street with one hand tied behind your back, and you're still a coward. Jay says basically anyone with a seat on the Security Council is immune to checks and balances from the Security Council. It works sometimes, but most of the time the bad guys have a friend on the council. Yeah, and when you have just like a one vote, it only takes one vote to a one no vote to stop any sort of action, Jay. It's really disgusting. Like, we need to go to a more democratic system. I mean, why? I get that it would be great to have, no matter how tough the decisions being made were, it would be great to always have a unanimous vote. That way there's never any question when things don't go the way that, we hope. But you have to think or hope that you're dealing with adults, which we are, but we're not dealing with sane adults when it comes to places like Russia or the Bibi administration or, Belarus or whatever, right? Hang on, you guys. I got to kill my camera a minute so I can do a fucking dab. Chuds will be thinking I'm smoking meth again if I try and do this shit on cam. I may not be able to talk for a minute. Whoo. Some peanut butter crunch I just dropped. Peanut butter crunch. Doesn't taste like peanut butter, thankfully. It tastes really good, but it's fucking making me hack. It's like, how? See, I still can't fucking breathe. No, he did one. Brandon 2345, what's up? I'm just gonna check how long you been Brandon, why are you calling me by my first name, Pumpkin? Brandon, is this the Brandon I worked with? It is, isn't it? All right. Brandon, I apologize if I was being shitty. I have a lot of fucking haters up in here, brother. So when I see a new name that just comes in and knows me by my first name, I get fucking all sketchy. Cheers to you. Yeah, much love to you, man. I don't get many local folks either in the chat, but it's good to see. I hope you're well. You know, the kid Holland, he's still he actually registered his business and shit this year, so I don't know what you've been up to. I think he said he talked to you not too long ago or late last year or something maybe. Yeah, it's you. All right. I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, I appreciate you coming by. It's good to see you. No, all good, dude. I went and checked your channel, so I'm going to sub to you. Like a lot of times if I get fucking Trumpers in here, they'll be fucking on a brand new account, right? Like because I've already fucking removed their shit 1,000 times. Their account will be like a fucking 2 hours old. Dave, you're always supposed to call me Shaniqua in private, though. Only you and Mrs. V get to call me Shaniqua. Yeah, I don't know how often you come by the channel, Brandon, but or like have seen my shit. Obviously, it's not a big ass channel. I've been at it for too long, but I'm fucking pissy, brother. I'm telling you, I'm sick. I'm burnt out on the way our country goes. You know, we seem to have lost. Even though I go into this shit quite a bit. Like I grew up in pretty fucking. I mean, I wouldn't sit not like a. I mean, I half my family is from the South, but for whatever reason, they weren't as bad as you could think. Some folks are, and I beat up on folks from the South, and I feel like I can. I have free license to do that because I have such large amounts of family from way down there deep. But my great grandparents, they were doing sharecropping right along with black folks, but they still, there was always that underlying racism in my family. And then, of course, where I came from, it was fucking Whitesville, USA. It's like there was like literally two black families in our town, right? But yeah, I couldn't fucking handle, it never sat right with me even growing up. But I'm fucking really sick now of the fucking sexism, the racism, the homophobia. God, it fucking kills me, man. Oh yeah, we'll be getting. I always have I have a 24/7 stream up too on this channel. I have a channel or a stream that's up every once in a while. It goes down once a week or so. It might go down for a couple hours where I just have to restart this old computer. But yeah, gonna be ramping up, dude. Trying to fucking reverse what happened in November last year. Folks got to get out and vote. There was a time I said it really doesn't make a difference, and I was wrong. It may not always make a difference, but it certainly won't if you don't vote. You're never gonna we're never gonna have any impact, right? Regardless. Jay says it comes back when you sing a country tune in the key of G. I've been working on that Kenny Chesney tune. Double wide quick stop, midnight tea top, Jack in her cherry coke town. Mama and Daddy put the roots right here, 'cause this is where the car broke down. Yellow dog school bus, kicking up red dust, picking us up by the barbed wire fence. MTV on the RCA, no AC in the vents. I can't do the chorus though, Jay. It's way too fucking high. I don't know. I have to falsetto it. We were Jesus, save me, blue jean. There's no way. I was telling you the other day, I got to have my guitar for a fucking security blanket. Like, I'm sure it probably does make a difference, like having the vibration of whatever key you're trying to sing in. Yeah, there is a. I didn't know that, Jay. If you're talking about that Chesney tune, or maybe you're just still doing the Southern jokes, that fucking lead in there is on electric banjo. And I mean, I'm a semi Bale, like I love Bale Fleck, but I don't know a lot of his shit. But I've never quite heard a sound like that from a banjo. I did not. I would have guessed it just to be like a fucking maybe a steel guitar, not a lap, not a slide steel guitar, but one of those fucking actual steel guitars because it's so twangy. But fucking banjo. No, there's not. Well, no, he's not singing in falsetto, but I can't get those highs unless I do. I mean, that's so I would only be able to mimic that shit, dude. I know you heard the song. I played it, uh, like the video, a couple times through here, but Jay, I was thinking about it last night. Actually, it's like, and maybe it sounds crazy, but I'm always trying to figure out why it is that I'm either singing flat and I'm searching for the notes a lot, right? Like if I, if even if it's a song that I haven't hammered down on for months and months every night, which is there isn't many songs like that because I haven't gave it that kind of dedication, like with the covers especially. But I'm always searching for the fucking note, going up or down, and I feel like I probably have gaps. Like I just can't hold. I can't bring up a note smoothly, right? I can't change keys smoothly. So that's why I've like considered doing seeing. I mean, I've never been a falsetto guy either, but I actually had a voice when I was not saying I was a good singer then at all, but I did have a fucking voice where I could hit soup because I was an 80s metalhead kid. When I was 19, well, anywhere's from 16 to fucking 22 or 23 when I either stopped doing that and then eventually blew out my voice from doing stupid shit like screaming. Yeah, I've still been working on that. Jay, hang on, I got something for you, even though I know you. Oh, Glass Beams. Have you heard of the Glass Beams? My guess is you have. I don't know any of their song titles, but for whatever reason, YouTube recommended them to me last week, and I gave one a listen. I was like, holy shit, this is good as hell. And Jay, um, it's like Tasha Steldano or Delano. She's an independent. She's like a solo artist that uses like sits there and runs loop tracks, sets them live. She did that song, "The Jungle" or "In the Jungle." I'm just throwing this shit out there, brother, because I keep going back and forth myself about how to do this. Like, I don't feel like playing by myself has the same impact, and you know what it is to be trying to put a band together, and especially at our age. It's like I don't know, man. If it came easy, like if I lived next door to Mac or you or something, and we jammed together, that because we've already known each other, but I don't know. I really have no desire to go out there and just start fucking hammer down because it's all about is why I guess why I said that about like you and Mac is because we already hit it off in a more relaxed way. It's when you're starting a band, you're fucking it's about the music, and then so you have no idea what other kind of personality you're you're dealing with. Good, not bad. I'm just saying you just don't, you know. At my age, I think that's pretty goddamn important. I just want some fucking friends to jam with. Friends, you know. Because then, when it's natural, good shit can fucking come. Without, not saying not without any effort, but it's much, there's just everything about it's a lot better. Darlene says John James has entered the race for Michigan governor. Yeah, I don't know if I've heard that name or not. Abe. What do you mean, Abe? What do you mean, A-Bear? I need Mr. Bear's number because I don't think that would be his opinion. I don't think he would word it like that. Oh my God, that's too funny. A-Bear says, I figured out how to listen to you without driving Mr. Bear nuts. He loves me. He loves my voice. I know he does. I have the voice of an angel, remember? That's hilarious. James says, TV, I miss the maggot that I used to glue his laptop together, and I would have definitely sold him Epstein files for $4.99. For sure, James. You probably could have sold him one every week. Got him on like a fucking mega Epstein files retirement plan, investment plan. Jay says, my tip on tonal centering to pitch, practice the first 8 to 16 bars of a song, first verse and chorus. If you come in good, you will stay on the pitch. Yeah, I agree with that, dude. Like I was, that stupid little blues riff I was doing the other night, right? That Dusk Till Dawn. I was fucking around with it again the other night, not playing along, just singing. And I'm like, and comparing it to the, just the unedited vocal track that I had on there. It's like, I really have to come in and the right spot. Like before that next count starts. Like, cause how the lyrics are lined up, right? Yeah. And then it was like, otherwise I was, even if I came in a little bit late or early, but it's almost always late for me for some reason. And I felt like I got caught up by the end of that first fucking line. It's still, when I'd go back and listen to it, I'm like, it sounds rushed. A-Bear says it's all good. He likes to listen to sports movies, and I like to listen to you sometimes. So it was the battle of the speakers. If we're in the same room, right? I was slow on the uptake. What do? You got Would you just get earphones or something, A-Bear? No, I'm just joking around. That was funny. I love it. I love you guys. You guys are all right for a bunch of evil libs, bunch of commie libs. But I can listen to you from my phone with the buds and a viola. Peace, tranquility, and happy campers, right on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dave says he has 1.7K subs and 2.39 million. Dave, I know, like, when I first met you, or not all that long ago, like, your channel's still growing. You've been over 1,000 subs for a while, but you had like 1 million views quite some time ago, years ago, right? Dave says I'm what's known as a YouTube celebrity. I've demonetized my platform so I can give my pirated video clips back to the community. Dude, you have to do cooking. I'm telling you, Dave. YouTube Chat Chef. That can be the name of your videos. YouTube Chat Chef makes ramen with cayenne. YouTube Chat Chef makes curry ramen. YouTube Chat Chef makes Italian ramen. YouTube Chat Chef. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you'd want to put your ranking in there, but you could do it like in your description. You could maybe play around with your ranking and some other aspects of your culinary art career. Yeah, I know. James says he gives Dave a dead arm. Harden the fuck up, Dave, and make some fucking food videos, you bastard. Dave, do 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 do. Dave, do 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 do. How many deals have I got in 90 days? What do you mean by deals? I don't, what are you saying, Dave? My criminal career days are long past me. What do you mean by deals? Dave, write me. We can't talk about illegally importing and exporting ramen noodle recipes on the internet, on a public forum. Shut up, Darlene. If Dave posts a fucking poodle video, I'm fucking timing his ass out for like 1,570 seconds or whatever it is. Minutes. That's gold. Jay says Dave's got the microwave Michelin 5 stars. Or star. Just single star. Jay, they don't have a half a star emoji. Yes, 101 uses for chicken salt, tablecloth. All right, this chat's getting out of control. Dave posts recipe of concepts of burnt soup. I'm not. Is that a? I almost clicked it, Dave, because I thought maybe you were gonna post something about ramen noodles, but I'll bet it's a poodle. It's a poodle link. I had to mute the music on the last one because you can't get around the shit. You can still see the puppy on that stream, whatever stream it was, but it'll just be dancing to nothing or changing its underwear or whatever. That one was questionable, Dave, where it was dancing beside its bed or something with shorts on. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was building, had a hammer or something. It's a Bichon, not a poodle. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, ain't it? Bichon? Is that French? I need to know the language. Not that that'll help that much. Oh, it's definitely AI. But the stuff looks good. Like I clicked on a stream a couple weeks ago, and the thumbnail was normal, and I clicked on, or maybe I just hovered over it and it started to run, and I'm like, this is weird. And it was something about a protest and drag races, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I click on it, and the camera was moving around a lot, but like in these stands, and I'm like, there is some, I don't know. It's still odd. I still think about that video, and it's like, for sure, and it was only maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes long or something like that. For sure, towards the end, at the end of it, when there was some cars drag racing, it was real video. But the first like couple minutes, just the first half of it was, I thought it was real, and then and as I watched that first time through, like a minute in, I'm like, God, there's something not right about this. And some of the shit, and it's not like just a normal distorted or low quality video, right? It was, you could start to see that it looked more like a video game or something, but I don't know. It was so fucking crazy. That's why I've really, you guys, I'm not freaked out, but like AI is freaky. And I know a lot of you guys probably use it. I know A-Bear uses it for videos. I haven't used it to do anything other than I guess I've asked it because like Google search, right? When I'm searching something, and it's for whatever reason, I don't feel like maybe if my settings have changed or something at times, but that an AI answer comes up at the beginning of all the results, right? But I've never gone into whatever I think, wasn't the first version of that for computers like Cortana or something like that with Windows 8 maybe? And I'm like, this is fucking weird. Like I think my old computer that I'm running that other stream on, it had that when I first set it up. I'm like, this is fucked up. I don't need this thing on all the time, because it was whatever, a direct fucking link to, or a live link to Microsoft or Windows or yeah, Microsoft, I guess. I don't know, man. There's something I do not like. You guys know how I watch what A-Bear's doing, and it's like, oh my God, if I could just spend 1 month learning how to do this shit and then using it once or twice a week, because that's my problem. If I've learned how to use a lot of my art programs, and then I don't fucking use them, and I completely forget. Like I could be doing some really cool animation, but I cannot. It's such a complex fucking process to get to where you're building skeletons for your drawings. And you don't know how many times I've had those nights where I'd go back through and I was just motivated and I'd relearn, and the shit doesn't stick because there's too many damn steps. I can't do it. Jay says he made the mistake of letting his cat watch YouTube Cat TV. Same thing. Yeah, and two, Jay says Frank and AI, and it's like, well, yesterday I posted a couple 20-minute videos on like Bonhoeffer, and I thought another one was Schopenhauer or whatever. about stupidity and people, intelligent people being, not being loners, but liking a lot of solitude. But they were really good videos, but it was AI. I mean, like a human had to program what into it whatever it wanted for to request the images, and I haven't done any of it. Bear certainly has. Like, you know, I guess I don't know if you ask AI for what images or if you ask them to put a video together this length with this, you know, and you give it a list of shit. And I just, part of the artist in me is it turns me off, but I've never been a quick artist at all. And the speed of it is really appealing. I don't know, man. You know, something I seen too, I got to read Bear's comment in a second, was Drew Brinsky, and maybe you guys have seen him. He's just a traveler guy who's super fucking cool. He's been everywhere, and he's just super cool, not afraid to do anything. He's just like the most polite, gracious traveler, tourist in the world, right, ever. And he has this new AI generated thing where you can go to his archives or whatever, this site or whatever, and if you have, it's his own, I guess, Drew Brinsky AI, and you can say, hey, I'm going to be here and I want to know what to do at this time of day, that, like you guys know you can do with any AI, and it'll give you tons of input on all his experiences. And he has like this dude has traveled about as much as anybody I can imagine. And he's only like 35ish, but I'm like, that's fucking kick ass. Like, that part of that's scary as fuck, but like I could put all of my fucking YouTube stream, like these ones, into building an AI for all my music, anything I've ever said, I guess. I don't know about like maybe posts that I've made in other chat streams. That would be cool if it could collect those. I mean, it'd be freaky. Maybe it would be good for self-reflection. Like if we did that and we were using, because the reason why I say that is like, well, there might be shit that I know we've done streams on, and I might want to say, hey, you know, go back and look and see what exactly, you know, what our thoughts were, or what my take was, I guess, back then on it, what's changed, so on and so forth. It is a very neat concept, but it's scary. Bear says, Mr. Bear and I are having that debate right now. He's becoming more and more anti-AI, and I don't know. I like it for art and research. I like research in citations. Am I saying, that may be a word I don't know, Bear? Citations. Bear goes on to say, I use AI for the base AI art for the base pictures. All the animation is me, right? That's why I'm only do one a month. Bear, have you got yourself a cheap drawing pad yet? I'm not trying. I gotta be careful because I don't want to talk you into something that like I don't use very often, unfortunately. But remember when I first got mine, and like I think it was 21 or something, early 21. It was like a $43 Huion, and it had the wireless stylus, right? No battery, and it's wireless, so that's very cool. You have to have the cable attached to your board, but that's it. I bet you those, you know, that kind of technology has gotten even better, even cheaper. But I got to tell you, I just don't use mine very much. But you do. I haven't been doing a lot of art, but with what you're doing, I don't know if it would speed you up or not. You're probably a whiz on your keyboard and mouse and know all your shortcut keys and all that stuff, which I don't. So, but there's programmable a half a dozen programmable buttons on it as well. Yeah, you could get one dirt cheap, sister. I'll bet you. Seriously, $50. I'll bet you could have one way better than what mine is, and I love it for $43. Like I said, I barely use it. It came with 8 tips, and I've only replaced one. That's how little I've used it. You can use it for all kinds of shit too. As a video player, like if you just had it as a remote control instead of a keyboard or whatever. That's what you have to get good at. Is like you got to be able to get rid of your mouse, and I'm pretty attached to my mouse because I suck on my keyboard, but it can run your keyboard with the left hand and your stylus if you're right, assuming you're right-handed. Yeah, James, I know you got a dog. I don't know how many animals you got, but yeah, we just got the 2 hounds. But man, Jesus Christ, fucking characters. My shit. Now I'm not gonna play that, but I might sit here and sing it now. Yeah, right on, A Bear. I mean, I thought about what was that Microsoft device that was artist oriented but expensive as fuck. Anyways, yeah, yeah, the range of them is so huge, A Bear, right? I wish I had mine close. I would quick pull it out and show it to you, but I mean, you can actually get pretty. I bet I would not be surprised, especially now, even though prices on everything have gone up. With technology, obviously, shit gets cheaper. And with some things, like I don't think like with a drawing pad, I see it all those types of things always becoming more and more affordable with better quality, even though the prices may increase, obviously, for whatever inflation reasons and blah blah. I wouldn't be surprised if you could really get a really cool, um, draw a screen one. Like mine is just a board, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll grab it in a second, but where you're just literally like a brush. That's I've gotten really used to, because for years, I mean, that was the thing when I first got a computer way back in only 2009, because it took me a century to catch up with everybody else. I have learned to draw so well. Not saying I'm drawing well. I'm just saying I can use my mouse amazingly well, so much faster than I've still been able to use that stylus, because for one, if you're only using it with like Microsoft Paint or something, there's a little bit too much lag. It's not very it's not, I mean, it's precise where you start, but you can't be in a rush. But with all the other art programs I have, it's amazing, and it's designed to work together with those kinds of things. Free as you know, that's one of the great things about like art programs, the DAZ and the Blender, and I don't use Blender. I use Krita for anything I do in that aspect, but all those are free. Yeah, you could probably get a draw on. Just like a big old tablet flat screen nowadays for under $100 that's colored and probably higher definition than the monitors I'm using. And yeah, it'd be pretty amazing. I almost went just a little bit bigger like that or better, but I'm glad I didn't because I just haven't used it. It's not a pain in the butt to set up or have set up all the time. It's laziness and lack of dedication, I think, on my part, if I'm honest with you, because I can get shit done so much faster with a mouse. But not if like I was saying earlier, not if I wanted to go through and do a whole storyline or timeline for even a couple minutes, 2 minutes, right? Like an animated piece and have shit flow. Obviously, that I could use the other programs and do better, but that would take some time. Steph, what's up, sister? Steph says, spending a little time with Teddy. Good Lord, my speech to Texas stocks. Oh, did I still feel like, yeah, I missed one of Steph's. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are wishing you well, sister. For sure. How long will you be in, and when will you be able to let us know you're all good? Even though I know it's going to take there's probably going to be some healing and rehab time. Hey Bear says, good luck. You will be so happy. Mr. Bear had it done about 20 years ago, and it was a game changer. Do your physical therapy. Yep. I mean, I never had hip surgery, but I had some major surgeries on my hands and my left arm, and yeah, if you want tendons and all that kind of stuff to come back normally, you have to work them, not overwork them. I was about at the max recovery time, 18 months to 2 years for my nerve getting full function and feeling in my fingers again, and I thought it was over. Like, I didn't think that was going to happen. Well, that's good, right? Because obviously the longer it takes for rehab, there's other issues, you know. It's already stressful enough going through that. Oh, you go home the same day? Right on. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, you got to have the other one replaced too. Holy girl. Yeah, do everything right, Steph. And we're pulling for you, of course. Are the Trumpers over there losing their shit because we're streaming again? Jesus. Sorry. Trying to, Alright, anyway. I'll just set it up. Yeah, I'm blasting off too, James. Stephanie, you take care, sister, alright? Holler at us when you can to let us know that you're good. Alright, James, don't be gluing any laptops together, otherwise you can't expect them. James, I love you, and I totally get where you're coming from with all these fuckers. You can't expect them to pay $500 for an Epstein file list if you glue their laptop together. Got to think about our retirement, James, all right? Remember, I'm in on this with you, so don't forget about TV. A-Bear and Darlene and B and Gloria were here, and Jay. Dave. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Dave was here. Did I say B? Probably. CC was here, and Brandon stopped by. Brandon, if you still got your ears on, it was good to see you, brother. And Fred. All right, if I missed anybody, get over it. I'm just a fucking dumbass with a fucking microphone. I mean, it's amazing YouTube hasn't fucking shut this fucking bullshit down yet, right? All right. I'm going to leave you guys a little music. Here is, should I post the, I was happy to see you guys over there yapping this afternoon. That's what I didn't think that stream was going to get a ton of chat hours or anything, but I figured it would be a happy hour stream, and that's been true so far. Like, especially during the week, I think everybody will be gathering over there, and you know what? When it seems like the chat holds on to the comments too if there's not a bunch of people comment, so you can have conversations over hours and maybe days over there. All right, there's the link for that. I'm gonna leave you guys with a little bit of music. Be good. I'll see you soon. All right, TV2 out. I just have to finish getting the audio set up. Let's try that again. with fun. Don't you ever call me again. Here's my number just in case, 'cause you know we'll always be friends. And I found what I was looking for all of this time. It was always right here in front of my eyes. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found what I was looking for, what I was looking for. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found what I was looking for, what I was looking for. She looked at me and said, we're fun, now don't you ever call me again. I'll be around just in case, 'cause you know we'll always be friends. You and I've been down this road too many times. The answer's always been right here in front of my eyes. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found what I was looking for, I was looking for. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found